Hello, everyone. Tremain Hayhoe here. Welcome back to Movie Night. I'm your host, Tremain Hayhoe. We are at Hey Home Studios right now talking about the new Avatar Fire and Ash movie, which is the third installment of the Avatar series, much anticipated. James Cameron is going bigger, going bolder. I almost said better, but we'll get to that in a minute. And I watched it last night, and here are my thoughts about it. I was going to go live right after the movie because it would be fresh in my mind, but I was too tired after this movie. So let's just call it as it is right there. Set after the events of The Way of Water, the film continues Jake Sully and Neytiri's journey on Pandora as they encounter a far more aggressive Na'vi culture known as the Ash People, a volcanic fire-aligned clan that challenges the notion that all Na'vi societies are inherently harmonious. As tensions escalate, the story explores, excuse me, the story explores darker moral terrain, internal Na'vi conflict, and the emotional consequences of loss and vengeance. The film expands Pandora's world beyond its lush forests and oceans into scorched volcanic regions, using the new environment to examine themes of grief, identity, cultural fracture, and the cost of war, both against human forces and from within the Na'vi themselves. The film interrogates how loss reshapes the film interrogates how loss reshapes identity and ethics, unlike earlier entries that framed conflict hold on, largely as nature versus colonization. This chapter introduces internal fracture among the Na'vi themselves, asking whether righteousness can survive prolonged trauma. It's a cycle of violence, you guys. Fire functions both as literal and symbolic force, destruction, purification, and unchecked escalation. The narrative challenges the idea that being in harmony with nature precludes brutality, belongingness, and otherness. By presenting a Na'vi culture that rejects or interprets differently the spiritual norms audiences associate with Pandora, the film reframes cultural difference as a source of tension rather than a monolithic unity. The, the environmental identity is Ometeakaya, forest symbiosis, patience, ancestral continuity, Metkaina, oceans. Who cares? This movie it takes itself so damn seriously. This movie, it's so dramatic. It's a movie about blue people on another planet that's like Earth, but it's not Earth. And it's 3 hours and 15 minutes long. Now there's evil versions of the Na'vi called the Ash People. They couldn't think of something better than the Ash People or the Ass People. The Ass People. So we have the Ash People, which they come from volcanic regions, scarcity, survival, and dominance. And the Ash People are not presented as villains by default. Rather, they embody a worldview forged by harsher conditions. This creates ideological conflict with Jake Sully, understanding of the Na'vi morality, and focuses difficult choices that do not have clean resolutions. They exist to dismantle the audience's assumptions about Pandora, introducing moral complexity where beauty once implied goodness. Now, they bring in this Ash People, which they're the evil blue people, so they're the red people. It's kind of like the Bloods and the Crips now. It's the Bloods and the Crips, but it's Avatar. It's exactly what they're doing. So the blue gang is against the red gang. The red gang teams up with the humans. The humans are the ultimate bad guys because, of course, they are. Humans are trying to mine from the Pandora planet. Again, this is not spoilers. This is nothing new. The same exact plot line was in last movie, and this movie takes off right after the plot of the second movie. So it tries to be one big, long movie. The film acts as a tonal pivot of the saga, darker, more confrontational, and philosophically challenging. It sets up long-term consequences that will carry into the later sequels, particularly around the Navi unity, leadership, and the ethics of resistance. Why it matters, rather than escalating spectacle alone, which is what they did. They literally, all they did was escalate the spectacle. That's literally all they did. But they're trying to gaslight us here. They say the story deepens the franchise's emotional and ideological stakes. No, it doesn't. Positioning future films to explore reconciliation, confession, or irreversible fracture on Pandora. Here's what the critics are saying. Radhayan Simon Pillai from CBC Radio gave it a rotten score. He said, without some spectacular new vision or technological innovation, you're left to really grapple with how stilted the drama can be in those nagging, troubling tropes born from Avatar's white savior. Wow. Bob Mondello from NPR says, it's been 16 years since Avatar introduced audiences to Pandora's forest-dwelling Navi. 3 since we met their coastal brethren in Avatar, The Way of Water. Now it's time to meet the mountain Navi, known as Ash People. Think about how stupid this is. There's the water people, the Navi. Then we're like, we've got the Ash People, who are the volcano people. They come from the fire. This is so dumb. It's the Bloods and the Crips. That's exactly what it is. It's blue versus red. Blue Pokemon versus red Pokemon. It's legitimately what this movie is. And they all wear red. And the other people all wear blue, and they are blue. Their goddess. And now it's time for them to meet the mountain Navi. Yeah, their tribe decimated by volcanic eruptions. Oh, maybe you shouldn't live near a volcano. If you don't want to get decimated, it's just an idea. Cataclysm, their goddess Iwa, did nothing to alleviate. The Ash people are aggrieved, aggressive, and, unlike the tribes in Pandora's low-lying regions, willing to embrace technology. Oh, wow. Congratulations. That gives an old human foe, Miles Quaritch, Stephen Lang, an in. Okay, again, the same bad guy. That was from the first one. Comes back to life in the second one. And he's the bad guy again in the second one. And he's the bad guy again in the third one, because the third one's like the second one, part 2 of the second one. So it's so boring when you have the same bad guy from the same people, except he clones himself, so he's an Ash person and he's a Navi person. Again, this isn't spoilers. We already knew who the bad guy was watching the second one. Okay, that 13-year gap between the world building first and ocean plumbing second films allowed film wizardry to progress. So audiences became freshly wide-eyed to James Cameron's gargantuan adventure in 2022. But with the second installment still sloshing around my memory, my sense of wonder began to wander during this film's 3.25 hours. 3.25 hours? Are you joking me? The undeniable awe-popping action is nonstop, but it's also getting awfully repetitive. And this is my problem with the movie, is there is a lot of action. But it's just like, okay, action, action, action. They're going through the forest. They're shooting at people. And they go through the forest again. They shoot at people. They go to the ocean. They shoot at people. They're flying around. They're throwing stuff at people. And then the Navi people are like, oh, bro, watch out, bro. Watch out for that, bro. Okay, bro. Yeah, I ain't gonna do this, bro. Okay. Oh, yeah. Let me throw my slingshot. It's like, that's the whole, for 3 hours and 15 minutes. It's so, bro, come here this way, bro. Oh, no. Oh, crap. The bad guys are coming. Oh, no. So MV Moorhead from Phoenix says, as someone who liked but didn't love the first Avatar back in 2009, as one who tends to get grumpier the longer a movie runs more than 2 hours, I'm with you on that. And there's small exceptions. Lord of the Rings, I can live in that world for longer than 2 hours. Harry Potter, I can live in that world longer than 2 hours. Even though Harry Potter movies, they never went above the 3-hour mark. They know their limits. They knew their limits, which is really good. You don't want a 3-hour long movie. No, thank you. It's a compelling, way too long, but still a compelling sci-fi spectacle loaded with grand scenes that recall sources as venerable as the New and Old Testaments. The dialogue isn't poetry. They quote this. Dude, they're fighting. It's literally what it is. Dude, they're fighting. Oh no, bro. He's fighting, bro. Oh no. Like that's the whole movie. Okay. Uh the dialogue isn't the point. The shimmering, immersive visuals and mythic yarn spinning are what the movie is for. In the last hour or so, I was fully invested. Like the last 30 minutes of it, I'm like, okay, now stuff's going down. This is kind of entertaining. But then it just kept going, and it felt like I'm going to finish this review here. The last hour or so, I was fully invested. I wanted to see the good guys win and the bad guys lose. I wanted the humans to win. Am I the only person who's rooting for the humans? Like the humans are legitimately just they just want to get the gold from the planet. That's all. That's it. Can you blame them? They get gold from the planet. That's their goal, to get the gold from the planet. And these blue tribes people just want to get no human bad, sky people bad. No. We got to kill the sky people. And then the fire people are like against both of them, or they're for the humans and they're against the humans, and they're for the humans and they're against the Navi. Is Sam Worthington, Stephen Lang, and Sigourney Weaver particularly good as a starry-eyed young Navi. Sigourney Weaver, I almost said Sigourney Wiener. That wouldn't be a good name. But Sigourney Weaver plays a 15-year-old girl. A 15-year-old girl. Sigourney, and she's in her mid 70s, I think, 75, 76, 77. She might be 80 years old. She's playing a 15-year-old girl. It's a little bit strange. You couldn't just find a younger voice. It doesn't make any sense. Giovanni Iovici, Tremain Clement. Okay, now Tremain Clement, not to be confused with Tremain. He is from the comedic duo. I'm blanking on them now, but they're hilarious. They're New Zealander comedians, but he is good. He's like the best part of the movie, and he has a pretty cool part. Easily the most striking performance is Una Chaplin as Varang, a hissing warrior. Yeah, but okay, by the way, they're like half cats now too. They're like, oh no, I'm going to get you. And they're like, I don't. It was like an hour. The last hour of the movie was like, easily hissing warrior who sides with the Earthlings against our heroes. She's fierce and seductive. Okay, you're talking about a computer animated blue person as seductive. This is odd. The Navi always reminded me of blue-skinned Ann Coulters. I don't know who Ann Coulters is. Nevertheless, they have a certain glamour and sexiness. This person is weird. What you think the Navi are sexy? That's very weird. They're like 15 feet tall. This is very odd. My favorite Navi trait was their ears. I love how they move expressively when they speak or even change expression. If there was an Oscar for best ears, Fire and Ash would be a shoo-in. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, so that is Avatar, Fire and Ash. Is there anyone in the chat? I want to see what's up to the chat. We got Tommy in the building. What up, Tommy? Hello. We got Uncanny Show on stream. What up, Honey Slice? What up, Uncanny Sias 2023? Hey Home Studios, that's right. What up, Tommy? Yeah, 3 hours, bro. It's no joke. That was a quick third movie after 20 plus years between the first two. Well, it was 16 years between the first two, and then 3 years between 2 and 3. They should have ashed you. They should have ashed me, like Ash. What up, homie Slice? Cameron is making a generation. Dude, I don't understand it. So I went to the theater. I went to 6:30 Honey Slice. Okay, Home Slice makes more sense. Okay, maybe put some honey on that Home Slice. It doesn't make any sense. I'm watching this movie, I'm trying to pay attention to. I mean, I'm paying attention to it, and it's. I'm like, why should I care about these people? They're the blue people. In the first movie, at least there was a beginning, middle, and end. You had a clear bad guy. You had. I love that. I really like the concept of it, where the avatar is someone who the main character is handicapped. He's in a wheelchair. He's a marine, I believe, or he's in the military, and he's handicapped. So the whole idea of scientific breakthrough of you go into this pod and then you could become something else, like a 15-foot blue creature, and he infiltrates the people. I love that idea. Like, that's a really cool concept. But then they made it so he permanently became a blue person, like that's who he is in real life. So then he didn't have his human body anymore from back on the stage, which that doesn't make any sense. So he's just fully, and then in the second one, so he's fully embracing his Navi family, and he's got a bunch of kids, and it just doesn't make any sense. Asked. Yeah, they should have asked me and then asked too as well. I think the first one is the best. Yeah. Did you watch the third one yet? Did you see the second one? I yeah, it didn't make much sense. It was like Sergeant Evil, yeah, the Southern man. He's like, yeah, we're going to blow stuff up. Like, but it's the same bad guy in the second one, and then it's the same bad guy in the third one. So he becomes the avatar. The bad guy becomes an avatar on, but just a bad version of the avatars. And then he becomes a bad Ash person too. So he's a bad Navi, and like the clone of himself is a bad Ash person too. I mean, it's okay. Going back to, so I did fall asleep during this movie. I fell asleep. I fell asleep after the first hour or so, and I woke up. I think I missed like 30 minutes of it, and I woke up and it's still going on. I didn't miss anything. I and I wasn't even tired. I went to a 6:30 p.m. showing. It wasn't like I was super tired or anything. It was just boring. And I'm like, I was comfortable in my chair. You had the heated seats on in this theater that I go to, which is really nice. So I was just chilling, watching this movie, and it just didn't do anything for me. It really didn't. Like, again, it looks cool. There's some things. It looks cool, but it looks like Earth. So he wants to recreate Earth on another planet, but have all these other characters CGI. But then Cameron always talks about how he hates AI. Now I made an AI an AI avatar thing that looks exact same as the movie. The quality is the exact same. I know you can only do 9 seconds on Sora, the app. Have you guys heard of the app Sora? But I made a 9 second thing where I go into the avatar pod and then become a blue person. And it's cool. But like the amount of like the hundreds of millions of dollars they put into this movie is mind blowing. And it's 100% computer animated. So it's CGI. So is my AI thing. It's CGI. But he's against AI. So make it make sense. Make it make sense. Yeah, save your money, Tommy. Save your money. I only paid $6.50. I had 2 movie credits, but if I paid full price, it would have been $30 to see this movie. Complete wasted money. $30? You know what you can get for $30? You can get a couple 30 racks, a couple 30 racks of PBR. You could get, you can go to you can go to a really nice buffet, get $30 with unlimited food. I mean, think about that. So I had movie credits that I only spent $6.50, but I spent 3 hours and 15 minutes of my life there. That's the problem. Time is worth more than money. Time is more valuable than money. So I'm watching this movie. Yeah, help me help you. Exactly. Yeah, I'm helping you, Tommy. I mean, for $30, there's a lot of other things that you could buy than a ticket to this Avatar movie. I don't agree with spending all that. Like, if the movie was 2 hours and 15 minutes, now we're talking. Okay, now we're talking. It does not need to be 3 hours and 15 minutes. It really didn't. There were a lot of pointless scenes. They're standing around and talking. Oh no, what are we going to do, bro? Okay, and then there's this one scene. I this it isn't this isn't spoiler, but there's it is so ridiculous. The thing is about the movie, it takes itself so seriously. This is my biggest problem with it. There's zero humor in the movie. There's zero humor, zero jokes, zero lightheartedness. If there's anything that's funny, it's because it's inadvertent. So they're talking to these whales that are Pandora whales, but they're alien whales. Okay, so one of the blue people is talking to the huge, this big, massive whale, and he's like, "What are you going to do to help my people?" It was something to that effect. I don't know what the hell they were saying, but it was something like that. And then the whale, and then the guy has a sign language interpreter. So the guy does a sign language to the whale. So whatever the other guy says, this other guy does sign language to the whale. So the whale can't understand English, but he can understand sign language, which makes no sense. And then he's interpreting what the whale says. So the whale talks to the sign language guy, and he says that you are an outcast, right? That he's an outcast. He goes, if I am an outcast, and then all these other people come out of nowhere, and he's like, he's like, you are an outcast, and they do this sign. They're like, an outcast, and then someone else comes out of the woodworks. He's like, well, if he is an outcast, then I am an outcast, and then someone else goes, well, if you are an outcast, that makes me an outcast too. And everyone's like, I am an outcast. I am an outcast. It's so ridiculous. It is so stupid. They're like telling the whales that they're all outcasts so that they can get the whales to help defeat the humans on the team. Like, God, no. I just wanted to see the humans go nuke the planet of Navi, just destroy them all, and then collect all the gold that they need to collect. It was 500 trillion or some ridiculous number of amount of gold. Just nuke them all. Okay? Go down in radiation suits, get the hundreds of billions or trillions of dollars you need to mine that gold, and then the humans will prosper. Am I the only one rooting for the humans on this stupid movie? The blue people suck. They're terrible. They're so lame. They haven't advanced technology at all in their thousands of years, whatever they've been doing. They're riding the dragons, and you cannot tell me that the dragons would not get defeated by bullets, thousands of bullets getting shot into them. It's ridiculous. They've got these huge machines. They would pummel the Navi people. Yes, the Navi people are 15 feet tall. Okay, they're 15 feet tall. All right, they're way bigger than humans. I get that. So if it was a hand-to-hand combat, of course, Navi would win. They're huge. They're bigger, stronger, whatever. But the humans have guns. So they don't want just blast them all. Just blast them all. They're like, the Navi people don't have guns. They've got like bow and arrows and slingshots and stuff. And it's just Cameron. Yeah, the sign language. I wish I was joking with the sign language whale part. Cameron ripped off Dory from Finding Nemo. Thank you. He ripped off a lot of things. It's a lot easier to mine on flat glass. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I rooted for the blue people in the first. Well, good for you, Tommy. You've got a bigger heart than I do. I wanted the humans to win, but like the first movie made sense. It actually made sense. It had a beginning, middle, end. This one was just like, oh, their planet is still getting invaded. They're still fighting, and it lasts for 3 hours and 15 minutes. Did I say that yet? Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. Let's try to find some more. Let's try to find some more reviews. I'm gonna get some more reviews in here. We can maybe we can read some user reviews. So okay, here we go. 18 minutes ago, some unnamed person on Rotten Tomatoes said this. I think the worst part about this movie was that it seemed like watching the second movie all over again. Amen to that. It was the exact same movie as the second movie. There was no real beginning, there was no real end. There were minor spurts of dialogue between action scenes, but the action was over the top. It felt like very much like Jake was fighting the same battles as he was in the second movie. As always, Cameron delivers with the beauty of Pandora, touches on important themes like environmentalism, speciesism, greed, and family. But for my money, the first Avatar still remains the best. I agree. Okay, Ryan N. Shout out to Ryan N. on Rotten Tomatoes. He goes, never before has a movie been so needlessly long. Amen to that. That is 100% spot on. It was so needlessly long. 2 hours, 15 minutes, sure. That's a good, if I go to a movie and it's 2 hours, 15 minutes, I feel like I got my money's worth. The visuals are cool if it's in 3D and I pay less than 50, less than $20. Okay. But 3 hours and 15 minutes, it gets to time wasting territory. So this person, never before has a movie been so needlessly long. By the time we got to important plot points near the end, I was no longer interested in if the characters lived or died. I just wanted the movie to be over. Thank you. That's exactly how I was. There was a climactic scene where I'm like, oh, this is it. Okay, cool. We're going to get the climax of the scene. That means we're almost there. And then we get to get done with this stupid movie. I'm like, I want this movie just finished. Like, okay, there's some cool action. Okay, explosions. But after so much, for hours and hours, it becomes exhausting watching. That's why if you look at the second Transformers 2, it's so bloated, so much action, so much all this happening. It becomes, the spectacle doesn't become spectacle anymore. You just get desensitized to it. It just becomes a bunch of effects, just eye candy in your face. It's like listening to a score of a movie where they only play the intense parts, right? So it's like after that you get exhausted watching it. You're watching it. You're just exhausted, and I the whole time I'm thinking like, man, I just want to go home, lay down, and go to bed. Like I just want to be in my home and watch TV or something. I don't. I'm so over this. I'm so over this. Okay, let's read some positive ones. Okay, here we go. Let's read some positive ones. So Christopher from Fandango says, from beginning to end, I was intrigued by the story, the sounds, the visuals, and the music. I enjoyed every second of the film. I'm not sure I would have enjoyed it as much if I hadn't seen it for the first time in 3D. Avatar was meant for 3D. Yeah, okay. Well, see, you can tell the people that loved it don't have that high of intellect. They're just like, I like story intriguing, visuals cool, sound cool, it good movie, 3D. Ooh. These people are idiots. Gavin B from, by the way, half of the audience clapped at the end of the movie. They clapped. You're clapping for this? Maybe they're clapping that they're happy that it was ending. I don't know. Here's another one. Here's another. Gavin B gave it 1 star out of 5. The movie was boring. The new white and black dragons were the best part of the film. Other than that, horrible. The new antagonist just wanted to play with guns, and it's the same cat and mouse game of Sully versus Quaritch and Shamu with septum piercings. Now, I don't know. I was hoping for them to maybe explore more of the world, dive into a fight that was more Navi based, but whatever. Zootopia 2 eclipses this movie, and that's about a heroic bunny and a sly fox just trying to get a snake's home back. But I digress. Oh my gosh. Someone gave it 5. Chris from Fandango gave it 5 stars. Most definitely will be a part 4. Oh yeah, great review, buddy. Yeah, great. Okay, the Rowing Brigand gave it 5 stars. She says, loved Avatar 3, favorite of the trio. If you liked 1 and 2, you'll like 3. Love the new female villain and new tribe. Colonel Quaritch keeps getting better. Love the focus on family. Another amazing visual feast. 3 upped the action tension and intensity. Enjoyed further character development of the Sully children. Okay. See, these people speak like I like movie. Movie good. Movie happened. Movie visual. Movie cool. Yeah, because you're not very smart. That's why you like this movie, because you're easily entertained. If you see bright visuals, zero plot, zero story, good day, sir. Here we go. Okay, here's this. Maybe this one, Jessica H says, maybe this one's going to make more sense. Pandora is so full of life. The way James Cameron brings the spectacular world to the big screen is nothing short of amazing. I think I would like to delve a little deeper. I feel like we are just scratching the surface. I cannot wait to see the next installment. 100% recommend watching this on the big screen. All right. Well, that wasn't a mindless review. We'll give it that. We'll give that to Jessica. A lot of people gave it 5 stars. I felt so much emotion watching this. Okay, here we go. We gotta read this. Caitlin O at Mrs. Lady Day says, I felt so much emotion watching this movie. I felt my heart break, race, ache, and cry for many things. I was angry and sad and then happy. There's so much connection when watching this movie. I loved it a lot. Shut up, Caitlin. You don't know anything about movies. You know nothing. Here we got Daniel, gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Let's see what he says. The action was very good, very exciting, and the quality of the film's CGI was excellent. Was a bit caught off guard with the relationship of the 2 main villains of the film. Very strange dynamic between them two. Expected it to be as family friendly as the previous 2 films, but this one is definitely leaning more towards an adult audience. Would have been nice to have some clearer warning for that beforehand. I don't remember anything that was adult oriented about this movie. Overall, popsicle rating for film. What? What does that even mean? Popsicle rating for film, but much darker film than previous 2. Okay. Okay. Henry G says, Me gusta mucho Avatar Fire and Ash, aunque uno filme largo, no se siente pegado. Okay, sorry. Justin gave it a 3 out of 5, and he says, rule number 1 of a visual medium: show, don't tell. Stop explaining the obvious to the audience like we're stupid. Well, you know what? The audience is stupid. If you're watching Avatar and you love it, you are stupid. That is a fact. Jack, you are not very smart. If you like this, it's the dumbest plot, the dumbest storyline. And like, oh, it's Earth, but it's called Pandora. And all the plants are the exact same as Earth plants, but they're like, oh, these ones glow at night. Oh, wow. So original, so creative. It still looks like a plant. That looks like a fern. There's nothing alien about it. The whale still looks like a whale. The horses look like a horse. But oh, they have 6 legs. So it's very interesting, unique, and original. It's an alien horse. No, it's stupid. No hate on James Cameron. I'm just being real. Nick Cage is the best. I cannot disagree with you there. Absolutely. Can we just review a Nicolas Cage movie already? Yeah. I'm trying to think of when his next one's coming out. We'll have to look. Okay, let's see what these guys are saying. We've got, I'm trying to see if I can get the chat. I need to get the chat coming out here. Let's see what the chat is saying. It's not what he said in the chat. Okay, Tommy says, I rooted for the blue people in the first one. Kind of like most movies, like the first one is the best. It's like they take more time and effort in the first one, or they will never watch any other. Excuse me. I like 1 hour 45 to 2 hours and 30. No more. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with that. 1 hour 45 to 2 hours. That's great. Hour and a half to 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours should be the absolute max for a big time blockbuster. Absolutely. That's what it should be. Uncanny said, Tommy, you're right. I think that's why it should have just been that movie. Otherwise, it has to become a very different kind of movie about negotiations and political intrigue or something. Yeah, Uncanny, I think they should have just done that one, the movie Legendary or Save the Money. Part four will flop so bad. I don't think any of these movies are going to flop, but I do feel like people are getting fatigued by this. Just like there's the whole superhero fatigue. Have you guys heard of that? Where you just see a whole bunch of superhero movies and people get sick of them because they're all the same plot, same storyline. Oh, superhero goes in. He gets the powers. He loses his powers. There's a villain. There's an enemy who has a chip on his shoulder. Now he becomes an evil man. Okay, we've seen that 1,000 times, and it worked really well for over a decade. I mean, it's been since what 2008, 2007 when Iron Man came out. That was one of the first superhero movies, like the big superhero movies of the next Marvel heyday, and they've been crushing it. And now it's like we've seen this so many times. I could watch John Wick all the way. I tried watching John Wick. I couldn't really get into it. It's too much. I sound like a fuddy duddy, but it's too much gun violence for me. I don't know. It's just something about it. I love The Matrix, though. I can watch The Matrix. All right, here's another Elijah F. Elijah F gave it 2.5 stars. I think the movie would have done way better with appropriate casting. Kiri is voiced by a 76-year-old woman. Hey, thank you. Kiri is voiced by a 76-year-old woman, and she sounds like someone's grandmother when she's supposed to be a teenage girl. You're 100% right. Why don't you just cast a 16-year-old girl or 15-year-old girl that has a similar voice, like a younger voice? I mean, I don't get why you would have a 76. You wouldn't want to have a 15-year-old person do a 76-year-old voice, would you? Like, oh, it's me, grandma. So I don't get why they do this. I could do with way less animal talking. Yes, again, they're talking to the whale. So it was so stupid. They're sign languaging to a whale. I'm still not sure how humans are somehow sexually compatible with them, but okay. Because not only are they that, but through the power of prey and quick thinking, they can become one as well without needing the avatar body now. I feel like the movie sort of went off the rails a bit with this one, but it's all right. Wait 5 months and it'll be on Disney Plus. No need to rush from the theater unless you're a big fan or happen to want to kill 3 hours and 17 minutes. There's also this undertone incest thing going on between the two adopteds. Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird. Yeah, and again, it's one of those movies where if you have Disney Plus, just throw it on, have it on in the background, do some cooking, do some cleaning, organize your desk, do something and do something productive. Just kind of have it on in the background. You can look, oh, okay, oh, there's something semi interesting happening. Me M, aka at Despaired, says this was just painful to sit through. I am right there with you, and I fell asleep for about half hour of the movie, and I woke up again, and I was watching it. I powered through, but it was like the last hour felt so long, so long. So here's here's a person that loved it. Mark gave it 5 stars. He says, this movie was absolutely fire. It expanded so much in what was set during Way of Water. An emotional thrill ride that I never wanted to end. Edge of my seat action where the stakes have never been higher. Have they never been higher? They were higher in they're just as high in this one as they were in the other two. Really, there's really no difference between the stakes in this one and the stakes in the last one. It's the same exact plot, the same exact storyline. There's no difference. Zero. Zero difference. I mean, it's completely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. As I turn on monetization for this show. Okay, thank you. JK comes out and says, JK gave it 1 star. Absolutely disjointed and stupid. The writing was awful and the plot was just stitched together. Nothing new or original at all. Yes, it's pretty, but it's just lipstick on a pig. Thank you. Thank you. People can see, look, like they can see the beautiful visuals and the eye candy. They're like, oh, this is good movie. This good movie because good effects. But if you look at the storyline, the dialogue, and the characters, it all sucks. It's not good. It's not good at all. Here we have Victor. Victor S says, visuals are there, but story is completely dull and made up to keep characters alive. Yes. Chris says 1 star wasn't really that good. So people are giving it either 5 stars or 1 star. It really looks like. Okay. Oh, I see a 3-star right here. Meh. Entertaining, but not much of a storyline. I'd give it a 6. Lots of flash and bang, not much soul. Parts were downright tedious. Yep, I'm with that completely. I wish Cameron would let Neil Breen direct the 4th movie. Oh my gosh. I've seen clips of Neil Breen's latest and greatest movie. Oh my, he used 100% green screen for his latest movie. And you think Neil Breen would get better, but no, he gets worse. He gets worse, but it's so bad. Yeah, I agree. It's $16.99 a month, and they're still showing you ads. I'm ready to watch Tulsa King. That's a fun show. I've seen the first few episodes, but it was really cool. The first, then fourth, and third. The pigeon and homeless king was a little weird. Poor Morpheus got a demotion after he beat the machines. Yeah, a Neil Breen movie set on Avatar. Neil Breen would be the ultimate Avatar. Neil Breen. Tommy, if you haven't seen a Neil Breen movie, that's, oh my gosh, it's like Tommy Wiseau, The Room, but even worse. We've got David H here. Let's see what David H says. The world building charm of film one is lost. This vision less bloated, predictable film seemed never ending. I agree. The dialogue is mostly ridiculous. It's like being strapped to a chair for 3 hours and being beaten about the head with a Save the Whales t-shirt. It's like being beaten. It's like, no. Let me say that again. Dialogue is mostly ridiculous. It's like being strapped to a chair for 3 hours and beaten about the head with a Save the Whales t-shirt. Oh my god. That is absolutely right. That is absolutely right. Okay, 3 out of 5. Someone gave it a 3 out of 5. Let's see. I went in expecting so much, but left feeling relatively disappointed. While the movie had some great moments of action and emotion, overall the movie felt rushed and overarching plot seemed unmoved after Way of Water. Few substantial new details and plot lines were introduced. It was a pretty good film, but I think it could have been better in simple terms. That's fair. Yeah, the people that give it 5 stars are always like, well, the visuals were great. Like, okay, there's more to life than visuals. Okay, Camilla gave it 3 out of 5. She says the visuals are amazing as always, but the story is getting repetitive. We don't need a 4th movie. I agree. I mean, but it's gonna make a bunch of money, so they're gonna make a 4th one. But Cameron already said that he's done with Avatar for a while. He wants to make, dude, just make another Terminator movie. Make something else. Like, I feel like his talent is being squandered living in this Avatar world. I think because they make so much money, though, that's the problem. He's like, well, I'll just do another one. It's making a crap ton of money, so why not? Dimitrik S gives it half a star, half of 5 stars. He's at Movie Man 11. This movie was horrible. If you saw 1 and 2, UB saw 3. Full of loose ends, bad editing. The movie felt and looked like a video game. Save your money. That's true. It felt like watching a video game cutscene for 3 hours and 15 minutes. It looks like a video game. It feels like a video game. All of these Earth corporations and politicians. Go ahead, Navi Wales, on your own. Yeah, I could see that him as a Navi talking about the evil corporations of the guys. Joey R says, here we go. Joey R says, the movie is nowhere near as good as the first movie. It is similar in scope to the second movie. There are different side plot lines, but overall it's the same story. Wouldn't recommend it except to hardcore Avatar fans. Very true. Absolutely true. Jack L says 2 out of 5. Special effects were great, a bit too long and convoluted. At one point, you did not know who was who or what was even going on. They try to clear it up by having one side be the blue team and the other side be the red team. Again, it's the Bloods and the Crips against each other. And then the humans are the KKK, I think. That's what it is. Like the humans are racist, I guess. So, but like the ash people go against the blue people too. And they're like on the same team as the humans, but they're not at the same time. I don't know. It was just, it was. Okay, Chuck says, way too long, not great. I would not recommend it. That's right. Kai Kai says, 1 star. Nothing new, same storyline with a couple of new characters. If you've seen any of the prior versions, you're going to feel like you are watching the same versions over and over again with a couple new characters. Disappointing to say the least. There was this one scene. And God, if do you remember the kid Spider? It's the white kid with dreadlocks, and his name's Spider. I don't know how or why. I don't know how this kid made it to one of the biggest movies of all time. He's a no-name kid. No one knows who he is, but he's in this movie in a pretty huge role. So he's playing Spider, and there's a scene where one of the Avatar guys wants to sacrifice Spider, wants to kill the Spider. And so he's like, Spider, come here. Like, okay, he's like, come with me. And Spider's like, you're not going to kill me, are you? He's like, no, come with me. And then he's like, stand there. And he goes and he brings out his sword. The guy brings out the sword, like he's about to stab him. And then Spider's like, and I kid you not, this level of acting, he goes, you're not going to kill me, are you? Please don't kill me. Oh my gosh. It's so bad. I'm like, are you joking me? He might as well say, please don't give me a poppy seed muffin. I don't like poppy seed muffins. He's about to kill you. He's about to stab you. And all you can say is, please don't kill me. Oh my gosh. Yeah. All blue people, the color that Cameron crazes most is green. You're absolutely right. I mean, there's no other way. There's no other reason for him to do this other than money, right? There's absolutely no other reason. Lynn says, the sad thing is I'll never get those 3.5 hours back. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I mean, okay, I wouldn't go that far, but it's it's the worst Avatar by far. Karen, the movie is way too long. Needed an intermission. So much action you couldn't get into the movie. That's true. That is very true. There is a lot of action. Now people might say, "Oh, that's a great thing. Oh my gosh, there's so much action. It's really cool. That's great that there's a lot of action." But no, there's so much action you can't really keep up and you can't take a breath and you're just trying to like there's more action and there's barely a pause and there's more action. And again, people might be like, "Oh, wow, it's nonstop action. I love that." But it's done in a way where everything's overly stimulated. It would be like when you're watching a music video and there's all these crazy flashing lights and like, "Oh, wow, this is cool. It's entertaining." Okay, well, it's entertaining for 15 seconds, 30 seconds. But if it's 30 minutes or 3 hours of that, okay, it gets old and it's exhausting. After it's just exhausting after a while. Audrey says half a star. It felt too long with no actual storyline. Absolutely right. There was zero storyline. It was just a bunch of like people fighting each other, and that's it. And again, I'm not hating on Cameron just to hate on him. Like my thing is, you just my thing is these big budget blockbuster movies. They need to be better. They just need to be better. And Cameron is one of the best at doing it, at creating spectacle. But he's he's lived too much Pandora now, right? He's just lived too much inside the Pandora's box that he I don't know if he's able to direct another type of movie. I mean, can he? He's been doing the same movie for 16 years or 20 years now. So for 20 years, you're doing one type of movie? It doesn't that I mean, with the technology, maybe because it keeps advancing, that keeps his spirits up, I guess, keeps him interested. But man, after 20 years doing the same thing? Ugh. Hoppy Speed says, 1 star. Deeply disappointing entry that feels confused and heavy handed. The plot is forced, oscillating awkwardly between an environmental documentary and a pseudo spiritual spectacle filled with vaguely satanic imagery and indigenous rites used more for shock than meaning. Its political ambitions were evident, yet poorly articulated. It is never clear who is fighting whom or why, leaving the conflict hollow and disengaging. The antagonists are simply evil without motivation or depth, functioning as caricatures rather than credible threats. By the time the film reaches its conclusion, the story feels abruptly cut short, as if the narrative arc was just left unfinished. The result is a visually ambiguous but thematically muddled film that fails to cohere. That was a pretty good review. That was really good review. Now, okay, so let's give this person as this next person, Lachlan H, gives it 4.5 stars. I read some of the criticism of this film and I get it. It's not my favorite of the trilogy. For me, that will always be the first. It's probably 20 minutes too long and it rehashes old plot points from the previous films. Despite all this, I find myself not caring at all. I absolutely love these characters. I love Pandora. I love this film and I love this franchise. Seen Fire and Ash twice already and have tickets for a third already booked. Really hope we'll see a fourth installment in a few years. This person has no life. If you've already spent 6 hours, 6.5 hours, the movie's been out for one day. It's been out for one day, you guys. And this person has already spent 6.5 hours of their time watching this slop. Slop, I tell you. Absolute slop. This person has no life. Flavian U says 0.5 stars out of 5. A very bad movie. Completely unexpected after the first and second Avatar movies, which were actual masterpieces. Even ChatGPT could write a better, more engaging, less drawn out plot. I wouldn't have been able to endure this garbage for 3 hours if it wasn't for the 4DX cinema I chose to watch it in. Zero real action, zero depth. It felt boring and repetitive. Could have fit the entire story in a YouTube short. Ooh, damn. Scorching. Scorching. Brat says half a star. Should have been an R. Don't bring your kids to this. Suicide, sex, drug use, everything possibly bad you could have in a movie was in this one. Fair enough. I don't remember that first part. I must have been asleep for that one, for that part. Oh, okay. Here we go. Kiki's giving us good. I like these reviews that give us some good meat and bones. Meat and bones. Meat and potatoes. Yeah, I don't know. Kiki T says, no resolve. This is just an extension of Way of Water. Nothing new will be revealed. James Cameron may hear from me personally on this. What a waste of a franchise. The first Avatar was the best one. Now I wish they never even made sequels. This was an absolute disappointing plot. Avatar 2009 to 2025. Spider and the Quaritch's characters are useless. They were in WoW, aka Way of Water, and they are here too. Kiri 2. How many times is Took going to get left? I don't even remember who Took is. Barang and Ash clan were highly underwhelming. This movie was pointless. I waited years for this. The ending of the first Avatar was all we needed. Should have used our imaginations after that. Y'all got too big-headed after your first movie. This should have and could have been so much better. Avatar was my favorite movie. It no longer is. What a dream killer. You guys blew it. You ruined it. No need for part 4. Go ahead. Give us nothing. Not even Awa could save this franchise. Please, tell us how you really feel. Come on, Kiki. Kiki, you got to tell us how you really feel. Don't hold back, all right? Poor Kiki just can't share her actual opinion. Did you ever watch the... I did not yet. Did you ever watch the Red Letter Media Plinkett video on the first Avatar? I did not yet, but I want to now. No White Claw tonight. No, not tonight. I mean, there could be White Claws. There could be. I don't know. So what I said, make the one and leave it alone would be legend. You'd be legendary. Yeah. If they made, well, the problem is this: money. The first one made so much money, and then the second one made even more money, I believe. So of course they're going to make a third one, and of course they're going to make a fourth one, and of course they're going to make a fifth one. They'll make it for the next. The fourth and fifth one will probably be out. The fourth one will probably be out in 3 years from now. Fifth one will probably be out 6 years from now. But I can only imagine with AI, you can create an AI Avatar movie in the next year or two. You'll be able to, which some people are scared about, but I'm not surprised by that. And it'll probably be better than this because there's so many plot holes and storyline than this. Okay, so here we go. We got another person. Derek gives it 1 star. This movie is filled with half measures unless it benefits the main cast. There needs to be full measures for both sides, and it's once again too long. There comes a point where you can't just rely on visuals. You need to tell a story that isn't a rinse and repeat. Amen. That's all the movie is visuals. The movie's 100% computer animated. And Cameron will say, oh, well, it's the actual actors acting because we captured their emotions while they were acting. And they have all the dots on their heads and they've got the cameras that capture their emotions and feelings and everything. But if you look at the behind the scenes, they're literally actors in a blank studio, just play pretend, everything. So there's no actual... I love movies where they actually build the sets, they create a world. They could have created a cool Pandora thing. With the amount of money they have, they could have built a whole crazy world of Pandora in a huge studio, and they could have done makeup effects or had. I'd want to see like actual big avatars created. If they're going to spend that much money, you might as well make something physical. So we have Armo 683. says 0.5 stars. From a visuals perspective, Avatar is once again stunning and outdoes its predecessors. From a storyline standpoint, it's wash, rinse, repeat. Very little new here. And the climax of the movie feels like an updated Way of Water. Exactly. It felt like the same movie as the second one. It was the exact same movie. I'm looking forward to Avatar 20, Blues versus Purples versus Earth. So, what are your plans for the future? Still waiting on Simp 2. I'd rather watch that. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you asked. I will get to that in a minute. I will get to the future of Hayhoe Studios. By the way, do you guys like the new accoutrements we've added to the live stream? I want to do more live streaming, and we have a lot more of that. We're going to read a couple more reviews from the audience members and see what they say. I guess we got to all of them. So the person, okay, so 5 stars, JV Mark says, but one powerful message Fire and Ash wants to tell us: own your path. Don't let anyone alter or decide what's best for you. Stand firm, even when no one believes in you. Loak made us feel that deeply. What moved me the most is the reminder that love is still the greatest force we have. Love, when genuine, never leads us wrong. And lastly, this film reminds us not to let fear stop us from reaching our ultimate dreams. What is their ultimate dream again? The Navi people, their dream is just to live, is just to survive and kill the humans and prevent the humans from mining their planet. No one's following any dream in the Avatar. What the heck is this person talking about? So someone called Spider left their message. Too much yapping and family arguments that led to nowhere. Amen. Could have used that to explain more lore. Enemy and good guys don't want to kill each other. Peak CGI carried the story. Exactly. Jonathan said, same plot line as the first 2 movies, no thanks. Amen. It is the exact same plot line as the first 2 movies, except we didn't have the cool part of the first one. The first one had more of a beginning, middle, and end. This person who didn't show their name gave it 2 stars out of 5. I think the worst part about this movie was that it seemed like watching the second movie all over again. There were minor spurts of dialogue in between action scenes, but the action was so over the top. It felt very much like Jake was fighting the same battles as if he was in the second movie. As always, Cameron delivers with the beauty of Pandora and touches on important themes like environmentalism, speciesism, greed, and family. But for my money, I think I read that one already. Yeah, so I'm beating a dead horse from Pandora already. This movie is a over bloated mess. Again, visuals are cool. If you like watching stuff in 3D, it's like you're watching a 3D video game. If that's what you're into, by all means, check it out. Maybe see it on a matinee. Because the 3D prices, they were trying to charge me $30 for XD 3D. That's ridiculous. I had credits from my Cinemark movie pass that I have. So I luckily only paid $6.50. And I give the movie 1.5 out of 5 stars. 1.5 because the visuals are pretty cool. There's some cool moments, but other than that, save your money, save your time. Okay, so Tommy, so future of Hayhoe Studios. Well, I'm happy you asked. We have a new movie in the works. I have been awarded a grant. I don't know if you knew this or I announced it. About 6 months ago, I was approved for a grant for my latest movie, which is great. And it's a reimbursement grant. So that means investors pay a certain amount. I can guarantee that they'll get their money back. Now, all I have to do is film in Sacramento, which is what I'm planning on doing anyway. And it's a brand new movie. It's not Simp 2. It's not Rideshare 2. It's not Avatar 4. It's a brand new movie. It's a kind of a departure from what I normally make. It's a drama, a dramedy. And it's a family drama. essentially is what it is. Without trying to tell too much. I don't want to tell you guys too much, but I am polishing the script right now. I'm in pre-production. Excuse me. We held auditions yesterday. That went really well. The auditions were spectacular yesterday. I couldn't have had it. I could have had. I couldn't have expected anything more. For $30, I would have went to jail. Yeah, would have beaten up the person. He would have gone and beaten up the person, and I wouldn't blame you. I'd go and bail you out, Tommy. I'd bail you out for that. Yeah, so that's the future. So this new movie's next, and also we started a film festival. So July 10th through 12th is the Golden Bear Film Festival. If you go to goldenbearfilmfest.com, you can find more information. If you're a filmmaker, you can submit your film. We are accepting between 50 and 100 shorts, and we're able to accept 10 feature films. So we want to have a high quality, family friendly film festival. It's July 10th through 12th at the Harris Center in Folsom. It's a beautiful venue. We're able to seat 900 people, 800 people in the main stage, and then 800 people in the main theater, and then 100 people in the smaller theater. So that's where we're going to have the short films. And so, yeah, I'm excited about that. We've gotten a decent amount of submissions already, but we have to jump through a bit more hoops now in order to be on Film Freeway, where it's shown around the globe, and then we'll be able to accept films from all over the world. Right now, people can only access us via a link, so it's kind of cool. People from Sacramento, people that know me, only know about the festival right now, but soon we'll be able to open it up for the rest of the world so they can apply, because I don't want to make we're not trying to make another local Sacramento Film Festival. There's many of those already, and they do a great job. So it ends up kind of being the same films being shown over and over again at these same festivals throughout the year. Some people are still showing their movie that they made 5 years ago, and it's a short film. It's like, okay, guys, get a life. If you have a short film, they how much money to attend? I think our full day passes are going to be around $30. It's very affordable for a full day. You'll get to see 6 feature films or 50 things. So if you have a film, you could submit it right now. Tickets aren't for sale just yet, but they will be soon in the coming months. Those are all great questions. But if you want it, here, I'm going to type in the link right now. filmfreeway.com/Golden Bear Film Festival. Here we go. Come a long way from the bingo hall, man. I'm so happy for you for pushing on, my man. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tommy. I really appreciate it. Yeah, you always got to go bigger, go better. And also another thing, if you guys like this live format, I want to go live more with this format of movie night, whether I'm talking about one particular movie that I just saw, one movie that came out, or even the Warner Brothers Netflix thing. Now that's a huge, huge thing. Now, speaking of Pandora, I might be opening up Pandora's box there. And we've got 8BE in the place to be. What's up, 8BE? What's up, Eric? Thank you so much for stopping by. It means a lot, brother. I've been tuning into 8-Bit Eric. 8-Bit Eric is an amazing YouTuber, gamer, aficionado. He's always talking about the latest and greatest in the gaming territory, and he's in a couple of movies himself, including Simp. He's in the movie Simp. Oh, by the way, dude, Tommy, I don't know if you noticed, 500,000 views on Simp, guys. 500,000 views. That is a record for me and my movie. And so I've never had a movie do so well. Rideshare got about 250,000 views or 230,000 views, something like that. But yeah, 500,000 views for Simp.